Introduction to myself, I'm actually a content creator. I create content on Instagram. I make funny content. I'm also a stand-up comedian, a former recruiter, a learning enthusiast overall in life. So this is me, and I'm really trying to make a mark in stand-up comedy and do stuff that entertains people. Basically, educate, entertain, and empower. These are the 3 E's that I follow in my life. Just like how Shreya had the 3 mantras. So this is something that I'm trying to follow. So this is me. I'm Karen. I hope you all have like a good introduction of me now. Yes, so it all started back in a convent school. So are you all from a convent background? Anybody convent school background? No? No one? Okay. So, sorry? Who's that dude? Silence. Okay, fine. So convent school, I come from a convent school, and this is not my school. Yeah, this is how every convent school looks like. Yeah, it's basically like a jail kind of a thing. So convent schools are made up of, cement, sticks and stones. Mine was made out of discipline. That was major discipline. Yeah. And in my school, there were rules that I had to follow. For example, wear socks till your knees, and then comb your hair, put Alice hairband. You should be really disciplined. So I come from that kind of a background. And coming from that kind of a background, convent schools had talent day, talent show. I guess every school would have had it, right? So in that, there were 3 main talents that qualified you as a talented person: singing, dancing, fireless cooking. So these 3 I couldn't do. Okay, so fireless cooking, they knew that I would burn the school down, so they added to have no fire in it. But yeah, so these are the 3 things you needed to have like talent. So people coming from a school like that, you have, if you do really well in your studies, that's when you become a very prominent personality. That's when people respect you. Okay, you're studying well, good. But if you're a backbencher like me, then it was very difficult to make it out of school. I still remember there was this topper, okay? She was having 98 in math or something, and she's begging the teacher, the topper students, right? Ma'am, half mark, ma'am. Please, ma'am, please. I've written, ma'am, at least for handwriting you give marks. So I'm just looking at her because I was the next person who's going to ask ma'am, I got 9. I just need half mark to make it 10 because I want to go at least fail in double digit. So I was there standing behind, and ma'am's just like looking at me in disappointment. So that's how it started. So when I was in this convent school, many people from affluent backgrounds. So you had people like who could articulate everything well. Like for example, you needed something, right? So when you present it, it's easier for you to get it. So I did not have that. I used to stutter and stammer through every sentence. Currently, when I'm speaking right now, I'm genuinely proud of myself for this, because growing up in school, I couldn't form a sentence without stuttering. And people would make fun of my English because I couldn't speak English that well. So I always had this thing in my mind, okay, I'll make a mistake. So that stopped me from speaking. So I didn't speak a lot. And plus, the kids who were really good in school, like for example in academics, and they looked good and they could present their thoughts well, they got to perform in big auditoriums. Okay, and I was there. I know I had the talent, but for one sake, I was just not able to be there. So yeah, that's my convent school story. Okay, so this is me in convent school, really trying to make it as a kid who's having some kind of a talent. So I'm going out of convent school. Next slide, please. So yeah, I'm going out of convent school. I'm damn excited to enter into college. College phase, when you're going into college, you're damn excited, right? Especially I was very excited. I was like, I'm going to get a boyfriend. So I went with that mentality. Yeah. Everyone was like, which college is good for education? I was like, which college is good for the boys? So I was just very honest with my parents. So my parents knew my behavior, so they put me in an all-girls college. Yeah, 12 years, guys, 12 years of painful schooling and education in an all-girls institution. Yeah, you guys see drama, I breathe drama. Yeah, because I grew up like that. So this was me very excited to get into college and everything. And I told myself that when I'm getting into college, I'm going to transform my personality. I'm going to become someone who who's like, nobody should identify who I was. Of course, it didn't happen physically, but mentally I can transform myself. So that's when I started practicing my vocabulary. I started like, when I watched shows, so I would keep a notepad beside me and I would write down words that I didn't understand. Like I would keep a notepad and I would write down the meaning, and I would also learn how to form sentences in my sentence with that. So this is how I started learning. I made a conscious effort into like improving my vocabulary, because as I don't want to be the shy, coy girl who's sitting in college, came, wrote notes, and then immediately absconded after classes were done. No, I don't want to be that kid. So what I did, I put a conscious effort into enrolling myself into every goddamn competition. Every competition, my name will be there. Singing, dancing, cooking. Cooking was there in college as well. So I enrolled myself into that. So many competitions, a plethora of them, and I was there in those competitions just because I don't want to be the very shy kid, because when you are scared to take the first step, you kind of lose the enthusiasm of doing new things in your life. So this was me in college, and I still remember, guys, there was one competition that honestly traumatized me, because I was this kid who was enthusiastic about making it. I was good in comedy. Like I used to make my friends laugh. My friends used to look at me like a stand-up comedian. So I used to enjoy making them laugh. So I remember there was one competition, particularly one, I'm standing there on stage and I go there on stage, and it was a competition where I have to make people laugh. Okay, so just like how you guys are seated here, it was a room full of like 1,000 people, I believe. Yeah, 1,000 people sitting right there, guys and girls and everyone. And I'm trying my best, and the judges were really liking it. And there were a set of boys. Okay, there were a set of boys who started like body shaming, and they started throwing slurs. And I was just wondering, oh God, what is this? This is how the real world feels like all of a sudden, because I went there thinking the world is full of roses, and then I'm looking at this and I pretended not to care. I pretended like I couldn't hear them. So I was just doing the things that I wanted to. And in that competition, I remember I came second in that competition in a room full of boys. Okay, the girls weren't taken. I was the only girl in that competition and I came second. So the boys started having some respect for me. So the respect started developing. I started going to more competitions. But there was this feeling inside, this major insecurity. Yes, I did have insecurity in school. Everyone had insecurity at one point or the other. But the thing of not making it, like, you're going on stage and someone's just abusing you in words. So that's not a good feeling to start off with. So this was me in college, and college cultural started. I started winning all the competitions. I started getting good at stand-up. I earned the respect of my fellow mates, and this is how, can you guys see me now that they dimmed the lights? Yeah. Yeah, so am I visible, right? Yeah, cool. All right. So this is happening to me in college. College cultural started. And here I'm trying to do the best I can to entertain everyone. I started winning. I started getting cash prizes. I started gaining the respect of everyone. So this is when everything was going smoothly at one point. Of course, there was doubt. There was still this insecurity always inside. Like, what are the people going to say? I like to make people laugh, okay, online. But I didn't have the courage to do that. And that's exactly when, could we have the next slide, please? Oh, yeah, this is me, a representation of me crying after the college culturals. Yeah, when I say I cried after college culturals, I don't mean normally just, one tissue. It was like this. I used to sob like this. I used to sleep and cry and everything. So this was me in college culturals, trying to get over that trauma, trying to get over that fear. Can we have the next slide? So this was my anxiety, guys. This is how anxiety looks like. As a content creator, someone who's on stage and who performs, having low self-esteem is like buy one, get one offer, okay? You have low self-esteem, you get anxiety for free. So this was that kind of a thing. And let me tell you anxiety, how it works. So anxiety is like banana milkshake in the mixie, except the lid is not there, okay? So all over the place. I still remember I used to shiver. My legs used to shiver. Like, imagine my legs are moving like Michael Jackson and my body is stationary. That's how it was, okay? It was very difficult for me to actually tell my thoughts and everything. So I had to cross that, and that happens only when you put yourself. You're scared of speaking, go out, go speak. You're scared of public, or do something in public. I'm really telling you, when you get uncomfortable, that's when you get comfortable with being uncomfortable. So this was me. So the title of this entire thing is to just keep going and to just work beyond the canvas. So while this was all happening, can we have the next slide? While this was all happening, lockdown started. How many of you all remember the TikTok era during lockdown? The Dalgona coffee era. Yeah, all those trends, these trends and everything. So that was the lockdown era, and everyone was posting videos and entertaining people online. So I decided, you know what, even I'm also going to entertain. So I opened one page on TikTok, okay, and I started. I had 2 loyal followers, my mom, my sister. My dad refused to join TikTok that time. He was like, no, I'm not joining to see this, mom. Please leave me out of it. So this was my lockdown era where I was really trying to do something. But TikTok really didn't work out for me. So I decided to post on Instagram, where I had like a few followers, and some of them were my friends. So this is also a special note to all your friends. If your friend is trying to start something, please be supportive of them if they have talent. Okay, yeah, you don't have to support everything that they do, but if they have talent and you see that they have potential to reach somewhere, please support your friends. So my friends supported me during this journey, and I clearly remember that I was not widely accepted, and neither was the reach very good. I used to get in hundreds, likes in hundreds, views in hundreds. So this was my lockdown phase, okay? But I just said, you know, keep going, keep going, keep going. And I reached the 20K. So I hit the 20K mark during the lockdown time. And that's when I entered into human resources. So I was a former recruiter. I worked in the HR department. So are you guys familiar with HR, like human resources? Yes, yes, no, yes, yeah? People don't like HR, just saying, okay? So they are like disciplined, okay? They are the form of discipline themselves. And here I am on internet making funny videos about them. So of course my team was not very supportive. I remember my manager coming to me and saying, Karen, the reputation of the company is in your hands. Please don't make videos, putting the company, and don't make any content. And stay in that kind of a position as a HR. We're supposed to be very, very firm, very authoritative, and I'm here like a goofball. Like I'm just doing whatever I want. I make fun and everything. So human resources really kind of pulled me back in terms of like, should I make content? Should I not make content? That's when I decided, guys, I'm not going to care. Okay, I went into my I do not care era. So I stopped caring about what people thought of me, and I started posting content, and I was very consistent, because the likes, the comments can get to you. Some comments really get into your head, but I was like, no, you know what, I'm not going to care. Whatever people think of me in person, online, I'm not going to care. So that's when 14th of August, I reached the 100K mark on Instagram by creating videos and everything. Thank you guys, thank you. So, thanks. So that happens with whatever you're trying to do, guys. So at times it's better to be deaf. It's not good to be deaf in real life, but yes, emotionally sometimes it's good to be deaf. So I reached this on Instagram, and now that I'm a full-time content creator, I'm earning better than what I did in my previous job. So I was featured in the Times of India in the list of blooming creators in Bangalore, and I also won a lot of competitions. I won a lot of, like, for example, Miss Lasya from Jain University, Miss Dhwani from St. Joseph's College. So yes, I was winning all these titles, because there are times where people do not believe in you, and sometimes you have to believe in yourself. So the message that I'm trying to give to you today is, guys, whatever that you're scared of, start today, whatever it is, okay? Whether you want to open that small business, or whether it's you trying to really make a mark in music or comedy for that matter. So I know you're trying to derail, but trust me, you're on the right path, okay? So you just have to trust in yourself, and your friends, if they have potential, please support them and help them go a little further. And whatever it is, guys, end of the day, we will always come through, we will always shine, as I'm a huge testament to that. So thank you so much for coming to the TED Talk, and thank you so much for hearing me out. I hope you were able to take something or the other from what I had to say today. So thanks a lot, guys. Yeah. See you.